أعوذ بالله السميع العليم من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم وصلى الله تعالى على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم. Picking up with the legendary military ideology of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam, after completing the legendary military career of the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wasallam, which is known as the Madani period, and the era of Sayyidina Abu Bakr as-Siddiq radiallahu anhu, which was known as the legendary military legacy of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. We've also completed, the legendary military government of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the era of Sayyidina Umar ibn al-Khattab radiyallahu anhu, and the legendary military empire of Rasoolu'Allahi sallallahu alaihi wasallam, which is the era of Sayyidina Uthman bin Affan. And now, with your humble and respectable orator Muhammad Israel, we're picking up from page number 41 in volume 2, not volume 1. On the second paragraph, it begins in saying, hence there was no alternative but to confront the Saba'is' plan in the field of ideas so as to cancel out their actions. This can clearly be seen in the sound reports in which Aisha radiallahu anha speaks of the aims of this campaign. At-Tabari narrated that Uthman bin Hunayf, who was Ali's governor in Basra, sent word to Aisha radiallahu anha when she arrived in Basra, asking her why she had come. She said, and I quote, "By Allah Jalla Jalaluhu, a woman in my position should not go out on a military campaign without having a clear reason and making it clear to her children," meaning the Muslimin, because she is among the mother of the believers. The thugs of various cities and tribes have invaded the sanctuary of the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam and have committed a great deal of wrongdoing there, and they have offered refuge to the wrongdoers. Therefore they deserve the curse of Allah Jalla Jalaluhu and of His Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam, as they killed the leader of the Muslimin for no reason. They shed blood unlawfully, stole haram wealth, and violated the sanctity of the sacred land and during the sacred month. They transgressed against honor and killed troops. They settled in the place of people who did not want them to settle among them. They caused a great deal of harm, but did not bring any benefit. I have come out among the Muslimin to inform them of what these people have done and of the pain and suffering of the people who have left behind, and to tell the Muslimin what they should do in order to help set things straight, end quote. Then she recited the ayah. There is no good in most of their secret talk save in him who orders sadaqah, meaning charity for the sake of Allah Jalla Jalaluhu, or to encourage Islamic monotheism in all the good and righteous deeds which Allah has ordained, or conciliation between mankind. This is Quran, Surah number 4, ayah number 114. Thus people joined for the purpose of setting things straight for those whom Allah Jalla Jalaluhu and the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam enjoined that upon, young and old, male and female. Open quote. This is what they are trying to achieve, to enjoin you to do what is right and forbid you from doing evil, and we urge you to change it, end quote. Ibn Hibban narrated that Aisha radiallahu anha wrote to Abu Musa al-Ash'ari, who was Ali's governor in Kufa, saying, open quote, "You know about the murder of Sayyidina Uthman bin Affan, and I have come out to set things right among the people. Tell the people in your city to stay in their houses so that we can achieve what they like of setting the Muslims' affairs straight." Ali sent Al-Qaqa ibn Amr at-Tamimi to Aisha radiallahu anha and the people with her to ask them why she had come. Al-Qaqa ibn Amr at-Tamimi entered upon her, greeted her with salam, and said, "O my mother, what caused you to leave your home and come to this city?" End quote. She said, "O my son, it is to set the people's affairs straight." After the end of the battle of the day of the camel, Ali radiallahu anhu came to Aisha, may Allah Ta'ala be pleased with both of them, and said to her, open quote, "May Allah forgive you," she said, end quote. And she responded, "And you too. I only wanted to set the things of affairs straight." Thus, end quote. Thus we learn that she only went out on this campaign to set things straight among the people. And this is the refutation of those among the Rafidi Shias who slandered Aisha radiallahu anha and said that she left her house after Allah Jalla Jalaluhu had commanded her to stay in it. In the ayah, "And stay in your houses and do not display yourselves like that of the times of ignorance." This is Quran, Surah number 33, ayahs number 33. The scholarly consensus is that traveling for the purpose of doing a righteous deed does not contradict the idea of staying in one's house and not going out. This is what, excuse me, Aisha, the mother of the believers radiallahu anha, thought when she went out to set things straight among the Muslimin, accompanied by her mahram and the son of her sister Abdullah ibn az-Zubayr. Ibn Taymiyyah said, refuting the Rafidis concerning this issue, she, meaning Aisha radiallahu anha, did not display herself as in the times of ignorance. The command to stay in their houses does not mean that women should never go out for some purpose that is enjoined, such as going out for Hajj and Umrah or going out with her husband when he travels. This ayah was revealed during the lifetime of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam took his wives with him on his journeys. After that, as he took Aisha radiallahu anha and others with him during his farewell pilgrimage, he sent Aisha radiallahu anha with her brother Abdul Rahman, who seated her behind him on his mount, and he took her to start her umrah from Tanim. The farewell pilgrimage took place less than 3 months before the death of the Prophet sallallahu or the demise of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. After this ayah was revealed, hence the wives of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam performed Hajj after he passed, as they had done with him during the Caliphate Umar bin al-Khattab radiallahu anhu and others, and Umar would appoint Uthman or Abdurrahman ibn Auf in charge of their caravan. If the journey is for a legitimate purpose, then it is permissible. Aisha radiallahu anha believed that this journey was in the best interest of the Muslimin, and that was her opinion. Ibn al-Arabi said, open quote, "As for her going out to the battle of the camel, she did not set out to fight, but the people pinned their hopes on her and complained to her about how bad the turmoil and the confusion had become. They hoped by her blessing to set things straight, and that the people would show respect for her and comply when she took a stance among them. She also thought that herself, so she set out in compliance with the words of Allah Jalla Jalaluhu. There is no good in most of their secret talks save in him who orders the sadaqah, which is the charity for the sake of Allah, or ma'ruf, meaning again Islamic monotheism and all the good and righteous deeds which Allah Jalla Jalaluhu has ordained, or a reconciliation between mankind. Quran, Surah number 4, ayahs number 114. The command to reconcile between people and set things straight is addressed to all people, male or female, free or slaves. The following are a number of important issues having to do with her going out. Was Aisha radiallahu anha forced to go out? Al-Yaqubi claimed that Zubayr ibn al-Awwam forced Aisha radiallahu anha to go out. This was the view of the author of Al-Mana wa Siyasa and Ibn Abil Hadid. It was also the opinion of Ad-Daynuri. The report narrated by Ad-Dahabi indicated that the one who forced her was Abdullah ibn Zubayr, the son of her sister Asma. This report was relied on and quoted by many researchers such as Muhammad Sayyid al-Wakil, who claimed that Az-Zubayr and Talha encouraged Aisha radiallahu anha to go out. This claim was also made by Zahiya Adura and others, but it is not correct at all. It's not correct. Aisha began to demand vengeance for the slaying of Uthman radiallahu anhu from the moment she learned of his murder, long before Az-Zubayr and Talha and other companions reached Mecca. It is also narrated that when she set off to return to Mecca, Abdullah ibn Amir al-Hadrami came to her and said, open quote, "Why are you coming back, O mother of the believers?" end quote. And she said, "I am coming back because Uthman has been killed unlawfully, and the affairs of the Muslimin cannot be sound if these thugs continue to cause trouble, seek vengeance for the blood of Uthman, and thus support al-Islam." Abdullah was the first one to respond. Talha and Zubayr had not yet left Medina. They did not leave until 4 months after the murder of Uthman bin Affan radiallahu anhu. 1.3.2. Was she in control of those who were with her? Among those who went out on the campaign with her were a number of the companions. Aisha radiallahu anha was not a woman who was in control and able to make people do what she wanted, as Brockleman claims. At-Tabari reports confirmed that the rest of the mothers of the believers supported her, as did those who were with her in the effort to put things straight. Indeed, a considerable number of the people of Basra supported her as well. These supporters, whose numbers were not small, were not insignificant people. Talha and Zubayr radiallahu anhuma described them as the best and most wise of the people of Basra, and Aisha radiallahu anha described them as the righteous. The fact that this number of righteous people supported her cause could only be the result of strong belief in the cause itself, confidence that something could be achieved by this campaign, and certainly that its purpose was sound. Amirul Mu'mineen Ali ibn Abi Talib radiallahu anhu knew that, and he refuted the claim made by some people that those who went out with Aisha were a group of fools, thugs, and hooligans. After the Battle of the Camel, Amirul Mu'mineen radiallahu anhu stood among those of Aisha's party who had been slain, praying for mercy for them, and recounted their virtues. We shall see below that it was not an unruly campaign in which Aisha radiallahu anha controlled and directed immature people. Rather, it was a campaign in which some of the senior companions took part. 1.3.3 Attitude of the wives of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam towards those who sought vengeance for the murder of Uthman. The wives of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam had gone for Hajj that year to get away from the turmoil. After news reached the people in Mecca that Uthman bin Affan had been murdered, they stayed in Mecca. And they had left the holy city, but they went back and followed news of the situation, waiting to see what people would do. When allegiance was sworn to Ali ibn Abi Talib radiallahu anhu, a number of companions left Al-Madinah, not wanting to stay there because of the presence of the troublemakers from other regions. Many of the companions and the mothers of the believers gathered in Mecca. The other mothers of the believers agreed with Aisha radiallahu anha about going to Medina to seek justice. When Aisha radiallahu anha and the companions who were with her decided to go to Al-Basra instead, the others changed their minds and said, "We will not go anywhere except Al-Madinah." So the idea of seeking vengeance for Uthman was not something on which the mothers of the believers differed, but they disagreed when the plan changed from Al-Madinah to Basra. The mother of the believers, Hafsa bin Umar radiallahu anhuma, agreed with Aisha about going to Basra, but her brother Abdullah insisted that she should not go. This was not based on her personal conviction. She sent her apologies to Aisha radiallahu anha, saying, Abdullah has prevented me from going on the campaign. This is Abdullah ibn Amr. The commonly known reports indicated that the mother of the believers, Salama, did not share the view of Aisha with regard to going out on the campaign to Basra. Rather, she shared Ali's view. The sound report indicated that she sent her son Umar ibn Abi Salama to Ali radiallahu anhu with the message saying, By Allah, he is the dearer to me than my own self. He will go out with you to fight alongside you. He went out with Ali ibn Abi Talib radiallahu anhu and remained with him. This is a report which upon examination does not mean that by sending her son, she had a different opinion from the other mothers of the believers with regard to setting things straight among the Muslimin. Aisha radiallahu anha herself, along with those who were with her, did not think that this campaign meant that they were going against Ali ibn Abi Talib radiallahu anhu or rebelling against the Khalifa. As we have seen and as events will confirm to us, we also find nothing in the sound report to indicate that Salama went against the consensus of the mothers of the believers with regard to the importance of setting things straight. The mothers of the believers knew that this campaign to set things straight among the Muslimin came under the category of a communal obligation. Communal obligation. Interesting. And the guideline concerning such obligations is that it is not expected of all Muslimin to carry out that duty. It is expected only of those who are qualified to carry it out. Aisha radiallahu anha was fully qualified to carry out that duty because of her status, age, knowledge, and ability. She radiallahu anha was the most knowledgeable of the mother of the believers regarding Al-Islam and Sharia according to the Muslim consensus. Moreover, she took a keen interest in current events and was highly educated and cultured. Her education had begun when she was growing up in the household of Abu Bakr as-Siddiq radiallahu anhu, her father, who had a vast knowledge of Arabic history and lineage. Then she had lived in the house of the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, from which had emerged the principles on which the Muslimin state was based. Furthermore, she was the daughter of the first Khalifa of the Muslimin, Abu Bakr as-Siddiq radiallahu anhu. The scholars confirm this high status of Aisha radiallahu anha. Urwa ibn Zubayr said, open quote, I was acquainted with Aisha and radiallahu anha, and I have never seen anyone at all who was more knowledgeable of any ayah that was revealed, any obligatory duty, any sunnah, anyone who was more well versed in poetry or narrated more poetry, anyone who was more knowledgeable of Arabic history and lineage and so forth, or anyone who had more knowledge of judiciary matters or medicine than her. Ash-Sha'bi used to mention her and express his admiration for her understanding and knowledge. Then he would say, open quote, no wonder when she learned from the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Atta used to say, open quote, Aisha was the most knowledgeable of people and wise. Al-Ahnaf ibn Qais, the chief of Banu Tamim and one of the most eloquent of the Arabs, used to say, I heard the speeches of Abu Bakr, Umar, Uthman, Ali, and the Caliphs who came after them, and I never heard words from the mouth of any person that were more powerful and more beautiful than those of Aisha radiallahu anha. Muawiyah used to say something similar. The mother of the believers bade farewell to Aisha when she left for Basra, and so the mothers, all the other mothers of the believers bade farewell to Aisha when she left for Basra. And this is indicative of their support and encouragement for her and what she was doing. Inshallah, we will end this one here at page number 48. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك وتبارك اسم ربك وتعالى جدك ولا إله غيرك ولا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله العلي العظيم سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين.